Well, thank you guys for coming. We just wanted to, release some information today in regards to Kevin Briggs being taken into custody in Oregon. So on February 21st at approximately 6:45 p.m. local, he was arrested in Portland, Oregon, by members of the U.S. Marshals Oregon Fugitive Task Force. Basically, they did a traffic stop and pulled him out of a car and brought him into custody. Currently, he's at the Multnomah County Detention Center in Oregon, and from here, we'll look at working to get him brought back to Montana. What else? So I also wanted to say that our entire division has been working on this since February 1st. Since he escaped, we've been working with state agencies and federal agencies during this manhunt. We're especially grateful for the assistance from the FBI and the U.S. Marshals. And I'll answer any questions.
So you said he's pulled out of a car. How did that happen?
I don't have all of that information. I know that Oregon was, the Marshal Service in Oregon was actively working leads and working the case, and they observed him in a vehicle and conducted a stop and extracted him from the car.
How long were they following him in the Portland area?
Well, we've been working nonstop since February 1 on this, and as have the Marshals. And so I don't know exactly how long they have been back on his trail, immediately leading up to his arrest. So I don't have that.
So what happens when y'all get him back here?
We, once he's back here, he'll make an appearance in district court, and then kind of the judicial process will begin for the case at hand.
And what are all the charges that he's facing?
Well, currently it's aggravated assault, assault on a peace officer, escape, and attempted sexual intercourse without consent.
Now, is there an extradition hearing set in Oregon?
I expect so. Typically, they'll make an appearance over there, and they're generally, in these types of cases, there's an extradition hearing.
What agency actually made the arrest or the stop? Was it?
It's the U.S. Marshal Service Task Force, and they also utilize some members of the Portland Police Bureau.
Was he ever actually in California? Did they find that out? Or was that
Our information is that he was in California, and we work closely with both the Marshal Service and the FBI in Washington, Oregon, and California. And so we do believe that he was in California at some point, and then returned to Oregon. A real key asset for us in this was the U.S. Marshal Service, along with the FBI. When this case first took us to Missoula, the Marshal Service based in Missoula became involved and assisted us with that, and they stayed involved up until this point. And they were key in working with their counterparts in Oregon and Washington and California. Local FBI agents assisted us greatly too. So it was really just an excellent team effort from all the agencies involved.
And do we know when he was taken in, if he fought at all, or if he just...
No, he was, my information is he was taken into custody without incident. The information I have is he didn't, initially didn't come out of the car, but eventually came out of the car, but otherwise was without incident.
Okay, do you have any timeline expected for him to return to Montana and Gallatin County?
I don't. That'll depend on what happens in court, and so I expect he'll make an appearance on Monday, and we'll know more then.
Was he driving the car?
No, he was a passenger in a vehicle.
Yeah, was he with friends? Were they arrested? What happened to the other
I don't know the relationship with the person who was in the car, and anything on that end of it will need to come from the marshals. Any other questions?
Do we know know anything else about his time while he was escaped? What's, you know, when he went to what states and where, or?
You know, we're still piecing that together. We were, you know, aggressively pursuing a number of leads ever since February 1, and I don't have an exact timeline, and I don't know that we'll ever get it, you know, completely, but at various times he was in the state of Washington, the state of Oregon, and the state of California.
Do we know if he was staying with friends or homeless shelters, or how he was getting by?
I don't have, I do think that he sought refuge with some people that he used to know, some acquaintances, but I don't know if he made it to any homeless shelters or anything of that nature.
Do we know if he was using a cell phone or any sort of device? Were they able to track him that way, or?
I don't know if he obtained a cell phone, and I also can't go into some of the investigative things that we did just to keep the integrity of how we apprehend people somewhat compartmentalized, I guess. But I don't have information that he actually got a cell phone.
And how many people again made the arrest?
You know,
Or the traffic
there
stop?
was a number of officers on it. I don't know the exact number, but they were quoted as saying they waited until they had enough people to do the stop, and they utilized a Portland Police Bureau K-9 as well.
I mean, how does it feel to know that he's caught?
Yeah, it's good. We are just grateful for all the assistance we got in this, and so yeah, it's good to have him back into custody, and that it happened without incident, and now we can move forward with the original investigation and case that we were investigating, and we'll be working with the county attorney's office on that.
Is this kind of like a learning lesson? Anything y'all taken out of this?
You know, well,
I can speak to that.
Yeah.
Can I just get you focused real quick?
Get what?
I'm just focusing.
Oh, okay. You know, I announced earlier, a couple weeks ago, that an internal review would be conducted. The basic fact pattern of the internal review has been returned to me. It was submitted back to the person that conducted it for a couple of additional questions that have been answered for me. So the basic fact pattern is there in front of me. I still have to run it through a legal review with both the county attorney and the city attorney. Some questions that I have with HR with regard to future steps, and then I expect public releasing of that, which will include recommendations for us about kind of learning and moving forward as an agency that learns from the past and make sure that those things don't happen again. I expect that report will be released within about 10 days.
Who does that? Who does the review?
The review is done by the Patrol Division Commander and then submitted to me.
You mentioned HR as a situation where we're gonna see somebody terminated or reprimanded?
That's why I talked to HR, is there's an entire range of potential discipline for people that were associated with this, if in fact there's a finding that there was a violation of conduct or policy. And that's down the road, and for me to speculate about what that would be without even talking to those officers yet, that'd be pretty premature.
Where's the Bozeman Police Department looking to go from here, now that he's apprehended and he will be coming back to Montana?
The Bozeman Police Department will continue to do what it does. And, you know, as any learning agency, like I said before, we'll step forward and move forward on it. The criminal component of this will be handled through the county attorney's office. We now thankfully move forward from where we were 3 weeks ago, and the victim in this can move forward, as can the department and the officers that were involved in it.
I only had one more question just about so if he's seen on Monday in Oregon, will he have to be seen again here in Gallatin County, Mr. Briggs, or?
Typically.
The county attorney's gonna be working with that's,
Okay. Just so then he'll have it extradition hearing there, and then he'll be brought back here to face charges in
That's-
front of a injustice court.
Correct,
Okay.
that's my understanding. And he may actually bypass that initial injustice and go straight to district court. But that's gonna be, it depends on the county attorney. And so we'll see what happens on Monday. Y'all got any other questions about Manhunt or Briggs? All right, thanks.
Thank you.